This music truly feels like we're at the end, huh? It really does, because Pokemon X and Y, despite their flaws, I think it's a good time. It's just as good as the other games. Maybe not the best, but I still find it a very enjoyable experience from beginning to end, despite the flaws in the story. Despite the fact that this really did change the series for the better and also for the worse. Despite all of that, I'm still a Pokemon X and Y enjoyer. I'm still a Kalos fan to this very day. And yeah, it's been with me ever since day one. And it will continue to be with me for whenever we receive Pokemon Legends ZA. And with all that said, welcome to the final video in Pokemon X. The Let's Play of it, anyway. Before we go off and catch our final 2 Pokemon for our journey, we gotta give a salute to the proud heroes, the also very underrated champions of the bunch here. You know, before we do any of that, actually, it's actually like a forgotten sort of business that I need to take care of, and that includes like picking up Pansage. Yeah, I actually just totally forgot about the fact that and I just remembered while we were depositing Pokemon into PC Box, I totally forgot to pick up Pansage, so we need to pick up Pansage at Anastar City where the old man used to be. That's not it. I always confuse that house for the dude. Like, Jesus. Alright. Here. And surprisingly, that didn't take that long at all. For today, I wish to give a salute to the proud Pokemon of this journey. Those that I caught, those that stuck around for the big old journey, those that were caught and forever sent into the PC box. I would like to give all of the thanks to. They were all a part of the journey in some way, shape, or form. They definitely helped out with Pokédex completion, a side quest, anything like that. And you have to remember, this was still a time when every single Pokemon was available, so be thankful for what we have. Be extremely thankful. Because now that we're in the future, we'll never have this thing ever again. So, take heed with what we have and what we don't have. Because all of these Pokemon will forever be immortalized. Whether they were a big part of the journey, being on the team, or not on the team at all, we still gotta give a salute to the good old-fashioned, proud heroes of this Let's Play. So, let's give a big old thanks to them as we wrap things up. As we arrive in Pokemon Village. Man, this team is good. This team really got me through some toughness. But the one constant will always forever be my good old starter, CJ. CJ has been there with me since day one. And he will be there forever. Even with all these interchangeable party members. And I'm honestly really happy with the team that I ended up with. It's got my fave, Hydreigon. I actually gained an appreciation for Mega Aerodactyl. Tyrantrum is just really cool. Nicholas and Bisharp are also really neat. They're just such a neat team that I am very happy to serve with. Now they will be put to the ultimate test. In Pokemon Village, there's a cave that you're unable to enter unless you're the champion. I also bought some more Pokeballs too. So, before we do anything else, no, not check the Pokedex. Actually, yeah, no, now's a good time to actually check it because, well, actually, no. We'll save that for when we wrap things up. Floral print. And battle animations are on, and we save the game. Alright. Here we go! Mewtwo is here! Mewtwo was once the most powerful Pokemon in the universe. And by that, I mean it was totally busted as hell. RBY Mewtwo was a monster, abusing every single mechanic to the fullest. Of course, nowadays it's not as powerful as before, but it's still a very attractive Pokemon with its 154 base special attack, 130 base speed, 110 physical attack, and a meager 90 defense and special defense, of course. Of course, it makes use of all of those stats to the fullest with moves, getting moves like Psychic, Psyshock, Blizzard, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, you name it. And this Pokemon can definitely make use out of it. Mewtwo was good back then, and Mewtwo is still good now. Or at least as of 2013. Mewtwo is level 70, pure Psychic type, pressure for the ability, which means the opponent uses 2 PP instead of 1. And it comes packed in with the moves Recover, Psychic, Barrier, and, just learned, Aura Sphere. Alright, let's get it. Let's get it then. I forgot to use a Quick Ball, but I don't care. Alright, so really the best option that you can use is a Dark-type Pokemon. Because, well, Psychic will hurt a lot. And without Psychic, it definitely can't do anything too bad to you. So, that being said, definitely watch out for Aura Sphere if you're a Bisharp user like me. Which is happening right now. Oh, okay. So So I bought plenty more Pokeballs just for the occasion. And because this is a cave, Dusk Balls will definitely work. So, I've already said my piece on how Mewtwo is still one of the best Pokemon known to man. All I want you to do now is just to enjoy the music that will assault your ears. So, here it is. Would you believe it that the Kanto Pokemon actually have their own theme? Or the Kanto Legendaries have their own theme? Well, technically, yeah, this is the first time that they've ever had their own theme. I mean, it's a shared theme, but it's a theme nonetheless. So, you know, that's very good news for all of you Kanto stans out there. That your favorite Pokemon Mewtwo and the Legendary birds have this theme. And besides, it's a really good theme. It's a really good song. Listen, when songs are good, they're good. And this is just another banger to the list of Pokemon X and Y soundtrack bangers. Seriously, Pokemon X and Y is such an underrated soundtrack. It's so good. All the town themes are so good. All the battle themes are really good. It's just their themes are just so good. Man. Anyway, we're just going to keep on chucking the Pokeballs until we eventually get this guy. Yeah, boy! Caught in a boring Ultra Ball, but I don't care, man. We got him. We got the boy. We got the man. Actually, it's not a gender. It was created by a scientist after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. The genetic Pokemon, baby, yeah. And we got 2 new Mega Evolutions to go over. Mega Mewtwo X gains Psychic Fighting type and the ability Steadfast. A physical powerhouse until the end. Honestly, the much preferred Mega Evolution over the Y version, honestly, thanks to its stat distribution. It has one of the highest physical attack stats in all of Kalos. Yeah, you know you're already off to an incredible start when your base stat for physical attack is 190. And besides, it only has like 3 weaknesses, so yeah, definitely take a good look at that thing and say, hey, put you in a Tekken style fighting game. Mega Mewtwo Y stays pure Psychic type and gains Insomnia for whatever reason. It's definitely more the mixed attacker of the bunch, given the fact that it has 150 physical attack, but 194 special attack, meaning it has one of the highest special attack stats in all of Kalos. But honestly, the reason why I prefer the X version over the Y version is because of that 70 physical defense on Mega Mewtwo Y. And besides, Insomnia is not the best ability. Like, okay, you can definitely benefit from not being put to sleep, but why though? Why Insomnia? I don't get it, but all the while, both Mega Evolutions are definitely not bad. They have their strengths and their weaknesses. It's just that if you're going to prefer one versus the other, then I'm definitely going to prefer Mega Mewtwo X, always. And with that all said, that is it on Mewtwo. one of the 2 Pokemon that we've yet to catch. Well, not really, like, you know, 1 or 2 Pokemon that have yet to catch. No, because there's still, like, well over, like, I don't know, 300, 500 left to catch. But I'm not doing a Living Dex Pokemon run. I'm not doing a complete Pokedex run of this because that would be an absolute nightmare. And there's other people who have done it way better than I could ever do it. So, yeah. I've definitely seen a video where someone did complete the Living Dex for Pokemon Platinum, and that was definitely a journey for them. So, yep. But now, the one place that we haven't been to, or the one place that we've yet to fully explore, is Terminus Cave. Terminus Cave, we can't actually fully explore it until after we become champion. And now, this is your prime opportunity to do so, now that you have become champion. Because a Pokemon rests here that you'll be able to get now that you are the champion. So now I just gotta find my way over to that very place where I gotta be, because it's been years. It's been years, man, since I've actually done this sort of thing. You gotta remember, I'm doing this Let's Play off of pure memory. I'm doing this because I wanted to, and because I felt like it. Oh, God. Thank you, Ariados, for getting in my way right there. Thank you. Truly appreciate it. So you just got to keep on going further and further and further into Terminus Cave until... Well, I'm just showing the way because, well, we've only been through this song and dance like once before. And that's technically while you could explore this place. It's just that you couldn't explore Terminus Cave fully, you know, until you become the champion of the world. The beginning of the end? Oh, God, that's basically referencing the fact that this Let's Play is going to end with this video. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep going. And this has got to be this has got to be a required. We're a pair of wanderers on a journey with calls with our trusted Pokemon. One of our favorite pastimes to come to play, and blah, 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 blah. You are not required in any sort of way until, you know, this very moment right here and right now, where you have a Nidoking and Nidoqueen to deal with. Thankfully, that's why I have Amulet Coin on me. King Guts gets to level 97 as we end the battle. Indeed, I have. Indeed, I have done so. Thank you, Rangers, for your kind service. Over here is an iron plate. Changes Arceus into steel type while powering up the power of ice, not ice, steel type moves. And I'm not entirely sure if this is it or not, but, you know, we're gonna say, oh no, it isn't. Oh God, there's still more to do. Can't you see I'm walking here? Hey, you set the line. Yusuf set the line. Anyway, after completely dominating that one guy, let's see, Reaper Cloth. That's an item that the Pokemon Dusclops like, so if you make Dusclops hold it and trade it, then, oh, you'll be able to get the Pokemon Dusknoir. But I think we're here. I think we're here, chat. Well, not really, chat. This is not a premiere. But here we are. Finally, the Pokemon that probably one of you has been waiting for. And here we go. Hello. You're a very fancy snake today. How about I get you? Here he is! Here they are! The Z Pokemon, Zygarde! Zygarde is mainly a physically bulky Pokemon that honestly doesn't really have the best stats in the world. It's purely made for a physical Pokemon and nothing else, honestly. But at the very least, its physical move pool is definitely not that bad. Learning moves like getting Earthquake, Camouflage, Dragon Pulse, and Crunch to start off with is definitely not that bad. Through TMs, you can get, the same deal. Earthquake, Facade, Giga Impact, Stone Edge, the good stuff. You can get the very good start with this. Sadly, even though there are definitely other forms of Zygarde to consider in the equation, they're not available in this game. So, unfortunately, you're stuck with what we have, which is 50% Zygarde for right now. And believe me, I will have words for you when we get you. Zygarde is level 70 Dragon Ground type, or break for the ability. So that basically means it reverses Xerneas and Yveltal's abilities. So, not the best, but not the worst either. I mean, it's only situational for that one purpose, but it's fine. And of course, like I said, it has Crunch, Earthquake, Camouflage, and Dragon Pulse to start with. So if you're planning on using this for your team, for, I don't know, whatever else that's gonna come up in this game, I guess, then, whoops. Well, then I say whoops because we have nothing else left to do. Seriously though, we don't really have that much left to do, honestly. In fact, this is our very last thing, catching Zygarde. He's just nesting here in a cave. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Oh, okay. Okay. At the very least, Zygarde can't recover, so I think it's kind of good that we left it on, this. All right, CJ, you be the arbiter, or whatever. You be the arbiter of justice, as I totally forgot to get more Dusk Balls or anything like that. But that's okay, we got Ultra Balls, so it's fine. It's all fine. Actually, it isn't because we only have, Ultra Balls left to consider. But still, I got 44 of them, so I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine with this. Man, the moment that Zygarde boost goes into relevancy again, it's you know what? I'm just gonna preface by saying, after we catch Zygarde, I'm gonna tell you the story of me and what I think about Zygarde. But like, dude. Zygarde has had a very interesting journey. I'll just say that right here and right now. Ooh, Zygarde's gonna be rock type now. Ooh, very scary. I mean, technically it is kind of because, you got that stealth rock, but that's not important. What's important is that Zygarde looks so cool. Like, it definitely has the Z shape and everything, so it fits the XYZ trope that all the legendaries of Kalos have. But yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I like the little spikes. I like the little spikes on the head. It's so great. And yeah, that's basically all I got to say about Zygarde. Pretty interesting, even though it's not really the best legendary in the world stat-wise. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna keep shucking and shucking and shucking until we catch ya. So, let this be a thing, please. Nah! Ooh! I sound like the dude from Last Airbender. Ooh! All right, we got the boy. And here he is. Zygarde, the Order Pokemon. When the Kalos region's ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power. Where was it when Lysander was gonna destroy the... Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so now would be the proper time to tell you, you know, the story, the tale, the myth, the legend of Zygarde. Well, under more fitting music, because I have a feeling that, well, we're gonna be here for a while. So, let's go to Anastar City, where it feels more appropriate to talk about, because the music is actually really, really good there. Alright, so, yeah, by the way, final Pokedex count. So that was my very last Pokemon that I'll ever catch with this Pokedex. 132 Pokemon caught. Definitely one of my better Pokedexes, but yeah. It's a shame we never saw Noibat or a Veltal or, you know, any one of those, but Kalos doesn't really have the best of new Pokemon editions, or the most of new Pokemon editions. So I want you to read this Pokedex entry very carefully to start out with. When the Kalos region's ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power. Now, I wanted you to note that because, yeah, there was never any Pokemon Z. Now, I definitely came at this at an interesting time because thanks to the Pokemon Game Freak Giga Leak that happened, we actually did get some details about, you know, a potential Pokemon Z that was in the works before they decided to shift over to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for development purposes, or the purposes of moving forward with the series. So, according to the scrapped Pokemon Z stuff, basically it was going to be the major debut of Zygarde and how it was going to be, you know, majorly useful to the plot. So, it was going to be, well, not just the form of Zygarde that we did get, because only 50% Zygarde is in this game. Zygarde has 3 different forms that's known throughout the Pokemon universe. There's the Zygarde cells, which make up Zygarde. Zygarde 10%, which is in the shape of a dog. 50% Zygarde, which is the most common form of Zygarde that we'll ever see. And finally, 100% or complete Zygarde. So, yeah, those 4 different forms of Zygarde aren't in this game. It's just the 50% Zygarde that we'll ever get. So, yeah, according to Pokemon Z, yeah, Pokemon Z was going to feature Zygarde basically fighting, you know, Xerneas and Yveltal at the same time. And it was going to be in 2 forms, which were originally called Form X and Form Y, which is basically 10% and 100% respectively. You know, it's just according to the data anyway. Continuing on from that, the Zygarde-like rock thingy that was going to be in, that you may have seen in the anime, that whole plot point was basically going to be scrapped. I think Team Flare was supposed to be doing something really bad that threw the Order of Kalos out of whack. So that's when Zygarde would appear and just basically try to restore order by, you know, basically destroying everything. I guess that's what Pokemon X, Y, and Z eventually amounted to, because, man, Zygarde definitely had a lot in its back from carrying the anime so much. Yeah, since there was never any Pokemon Z to begin with, Pokemon X, Y, and Z, you know, the final season of the Pokemon X and Y arc, was made purely to basically capitalize on the fact that there was never any Pokemon Z to begin with. I mean, if you know, then you know, but... Dude. We now live in the age where... Okay, so this is kind of funny. If Pokemon Legends ZA was never announced, I would have gone on this big, massive rant. I had this built up for years and years and years. I knew I was going to have to do Pokemon X and Y eventually. But, you know, it had to come to a point where I'm like, dude, Zygarde is probably the most pointless legendary of all time. Like, this is not counting, you know, RBY legendaries like, you know, like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, because they had no purpose other than, you know, legendary Pokemon that are cool and they are rewards for exploring. Mewtwo at least had lore built up to it in the Pokemon Mansion in Cinnabar Island. And, yeah, from then on, Legendary started to become more integrated into the story. Well, not really so much Ho-Oh and Lugia at first, but think about it. Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Zekrom, Reshiram, and Black and White Kyurem, and Kyurem itself. And then we have Xerneas and Yveltal, which we learn about a lot in the latter half of the journey. It's like, hey, there's this Pokemon that existed that basically gave life or took life, you know. It was basically that. But Zygarde was just hanging out in the cave while Lysander did all of this shtick. Like, threatened to destroy the world with this ultimate weapon. Like, dude, where? Where was this guy? Like, okay, so we assumed that Pokemon Z would eventually be made because, you know, that was the whole shtick of Pokemon, right? At the time. You know, either make a sequel or an enhanced third version. Wrong. They moved to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I was like, okay, I guess we could have done that, you know. Where's Pokemon Z? Well, the next game after that was Pokemon Sun and Moon, where they made Zygarde a side quest. I mean, it's a fun side quest, but come on, dude. Come on, man. Zygarde is definitely the most plot-useless legendary out there. Never made an impact in any of the games outside of being side quests. I genuinely feel bad for Zygarde because it's so cool. And the anime did Zygarde so good. It's just that the games didn't. I mean, yeah, we would eventually get 10% and 100% Zygarde in there, but... Okay, so... That was my whole rant on this thing. Had it not been for Legend ZA's announcement, where it's basically promised that Zygarde would be a huge plot point. Well, given the title that it's called Legend ZA. We're assuming at this point that Zygarde is going to be a part of something like really big. And if this is not, then this rant will definitely age like milk. But if it does, then, you know, so be it. So be it. Like, at this point, I don't know when this video is going to come out. It's probably going to come out in, like, late November or something. At this point, we still don't know anything about Legend ZA. Other than it's announced, it's a thing, and Z is in the title, so obviously we're going to get Zygarde in some fashion. But dude, man, come on, Zygarde, man. Zygarde. My God, man, my God. So yeah, I had this crazy rant built up for years and years, and now that Legend ZA is coming out, it's like, is this really gonna make my rant like a big moot point now? Listen, coming from a Kalos, this is coming from a Kalos enjoyer, okay? Pokemon X and Y might not be the best games in the series, but it introduced like a cool concept for legendary Pokemon. Life and death and order. And the anime had to carry that shit. Like, seriously, it had to really carry that shit. It's... I just can't say enough about it. It's but yeah, no, that's Zygarde in a nutshell. Totally useless in the games, plot-wise. but it definitely makes some good side quest material, said Game Freak. Why? Poor Zygarde, man. But so, with all that said, that brings us to the end of our adventures in Kalos. Everything is explored. Not every Pokemon was collected. All storylines were wrapped up. Everything is ended. And I think I can leave this on a good note saying that I really enjoyed, like, revisiting Pokemon X. And by extension, Pokemon X, well, Pokemon Y. This is my first time playing through Pokemon X. And honestly, like, I've grown to appreciate Xerneas a bit more. And I do see the hidden cracks and leaks that Pokemon X and Y definitely has as a game. It's not the best game in the entire series, because it really isn't. But I still find it a relatively enjoyable time with lots of Pokemon to catch. Even if over like 80% of them are old and only 20% of them are Kalos native Pokemon. It has some really good music. Like, listen to the soundtrack on your own time, like this song right here. It has potential for a really good storyline that was just never fleshed out. And I'm hoping that ZA will definitely manage that. For the first big Pokemon RPG on a handheld, the first 3D one on a handheld, it's damn good. I still say it's damn good. Then again, I'm that fool who likes every single Pokemon game known to man. So, don't listen to me. But, yeah, it definitely is one of the longer adventures that we've had. And for our final counts, we have 132 Pokemon obtained in the Dex. And now I feel that draft because I think one of my dogs just showed up. Yeah, 132 Pokemon obtained in the big old Dex. And the final playtime is 56 hours and 15 minutes. Well, I either left my game on for some of that time, or I just simply, you know, just did other things in-game. Like grinding up Pokemon, doing daycare stuff, earning money from the Battle Chateau, doing whatever I feel like I can. It's definitely one of the longer adventures that we've ever had as a Pokemon RPG. In fact, yeah, it's definitely the second longest one that we've had. Sorry, it's just that Pokemon Sword had a lot more. Well, we'll definitely see as we continue our Pokemon adventures. Someday. But for now, that will do it. If you stuck around to the end of this Let's Play, I truly do appreciate it. And, yeah, I just hope you had a fun time. And I have nothing more to say. I really have nothing more to say. Just, play this game if you're really curious as to how the age of modern Pokemon began. And so with that all said, I'm going to a big long sleep. A big long hibernation. Well, from Let's Plays anyway. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but there definitely will be some one-off videos here and there while I get busy preparing the next Let's Play for you. And you won't know what it is until it goes up. So have fun guessing, even though I sort of announced some of them already. So I will indeed see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching. And I hope that things get better for you. I truly hope so. See you guys next time. Oh yeah, there is one thing I've actually forgot to mention. There's a Battle Maison trainer called Beauty Nova. And about 6 months ago, she was a black belt. Trans rights.